I'm Nancy Showalter, and you're listening to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect podcast. Welcome, all radical paradigm shifters and creative change makers. You who dare to create a better life and a better world. Tap into the power that resides within you and use that power for constructive change. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode. Age is just a number, 7 secrets for ageless living. This is one of my favorite topics because these secrets are very simple and straightforward, but they can make a huge difference in just your everyday life, as well as all the cycles of your life that you're going through from childhood to retirement. So it's a pretty exciting topic. So let's just dive right into it. And I'll touch on each of these because obviously I can't go too deep in them. But secret number 1 is invest in yourself. And this is very important. There's 2 key areas that you want to invest in yourself. And that is your health, because if we don't have our health, we are very limited in what we can do and contribute. So it's very important to make sure that, a lot of times people say, I can't afford to eat healthy, or I don't have enough time. But the reality is you can not afford to eat healthy or have enough time. So you really need to look at, what are you doing? Are you exercising enough? Are you having preventative health practices in your life so that you keep your health intact? There's unlimited resources on the internet now. We can research just about anything as far as, how to eat healthy. And of course, we know there are many different kinds of diets out there, or I should say eating plans. There's vegetarian, there's keto, it goes the whole span, and you have to find what works for you. You have to determine, experiment a bit, and just eat healthy. The second way to invest in yourself is education and learning. Now, there's formal education, there's seminars, retreats, conferences. You can read. Again, we have unlimited resources on the internet. You want to learn new skills. You want to keep that learning, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But these are the areas you want to invest in yourself, financially, time-wise, always. That's secret number 1, invest in yourself. Secret number 2, use all of your resources. This is one of my favorite areas because you want to unlock the power that resides within you and use that power for constructive change. Now, so that's what I mean by using all of your resources. We know on our conscious level, we have our physical, our mental, our emotional, we have the subconscious and unconscious, which is our memories. And then we have superconscious, which is that part of us we don't see, but I call it the part of us that was made in the image and likeness of the divine, the part of us that has conscious awareness, and that is the I am. In other words, when the word was spoken, I am, an individualized portion of the divine comes into being, and that is you and me. And that I am presence, that I am consciousness is truly our highest form of ourself. And that's a great key, because when we use the words I am, we were also given dominion in this dimension, and we are a co-creator. We are a creator in this level. So when we say I am, we are literally asking that divine part of ourselves to create those conditions, whatever we follow with those words. So I am, and if you follow with something negative, you are creating that in your life. You're asking the universe to give you that condition. So that's why it's important. And people do affirmations, declarations, different things. And they're more than just words. And especially when you understand that you are invoking that part of yourself, that divine part of yourself, to create this condition. So that's important. Now, we are energetic beings. We know everything is energy. And this is an area you could go, of course, very deep into. But it also includes attitude. And I like to say transcending your health paradigm. I like to talk about that because what is your health paradigm? You need to think about it. What is your aging paradigm? And a new study released by the American College of, get this, neuropsychopharmacology, they suggested that seniors' perceptions of the aging process depend not on disease or physical disability, but rather on their attitude and coping style. So our attitude about aging, and it's a mental construct that we have. Do we move on and continue to be open, or do we decide we're old or too old? It's a definite mindset when you're talking about aging, because your body will change. We start out as a little embryo and move to childhood and such. So your body does change, but we don't have to age and become decrepit and be sick and all of these things that we're programmed by just normal society to do. So that's secret number 2, using all of your resources, meaning your higher self, your spiritual self, and having that connection. Secret number 3, you want to continue to learn, continuous learning. It's a mental mindset and an attitude again. And now, as a child, we look out in the world and we're just continually absorbing and learning. And in our most productive years as adults, we're continuously learning on the job as a parent or as we interact with others professionally and socially. In our mature years, again, we have that choice. Are we going to continue to be open, use our faculties and learn? Or again, do we decide we're too old? Or it's the end of my life, and you just sort of give in to that aging process, or that old age process, I should say. And, sometimes as we get older, you see changes in your body, but inside you really don't feel any different than when you were younger. Now, that's the mental mindset you want to have. Even as the body matures, you are still projecting that image of youth, of health, vitality, learning, and moving on. Secret number 4, do what is natural and healthy. It really is simple. Eat food as close to nature as possible. Drink pure water. I'm a big advocate of cleansing your physical body. And for years, my husband and I have fasted 1 day a week, and that's just, basically on water or juices or whatever works for you. And 3 days a month, 7 days a year. We've done that for many, many years. Now I'm doing a little different cycle, but the point is your body being cleansed. Sometimes our health is related to more what's not in our body than what is, what we put into it. So it's important, and that's been a very big thing for me. You want to get adequate sleep and rest. You breathe properly, get the exercise, stay close to nature. Have living things in your home or your yard. You want to have plants. You want to have living things around you. If you're in an apartment, get some plants in your apartment, or you have a pet. Having this interaction and living things around you is very important also. Spend your quiet time and meditation time. Nurture relationships. Don't just check out. I'm starting to close in and too old to get out and do those things. Just keep your relationships and nurture them, whether they're in your immediate family or outside of your immediate family. So that's secret number 4. Number 5 is simplify your life. Just take a time and a cycle of letting go of physical things. All the physical things that we own, all the things that are in the attic or the basement or stuffed into drawers, all of those things take our energy. We're actually we have to feed energy to all of our things that we own because they're ours and they're tied to us. So cleaning out physically is an awesome experience. And it is a way to maintain that youthfulness, that vitality in our life. So we also want to let go of emotions and mental concepts and memories. That's what forgiveness is all about. Forgiving, giving it up and forgetting it, and not forgetting it intellectually. We all have traumas or challenges and problems and injuries and all of these things in our life. But giving up that emotional charge, giving up that attachment, not mourning forever when someone passes on, when we know that there's life beyond here. Yes, we go through grief. We have those processes. And I have definite experience with this. My brother, when he was 39 years old, was brutally murdered. And I know what it means to just let go and move on and understand, that life does go on, but forgiveness has to be giving up so that you can still be a creative, contributing person and not held back by painful memories. So painful memories, let those go. Even desires in the sense, not that you don't have goals and those kind of things, but I want, it's okay to have your goals and such, but it's more powerful to claim, like we were talking about, the I am these things. I have these things, and step into that reality. So letting go again, harmony in your environment. That's so important. Physically, clean up the junk. Be orderly, not to the point of extreme, but keep your life harmony in your physical environment and harmony with your relationships. And keep balance in your life. You want to have a balance. You don't want to be working, ignoring your health, ignoring your family, ignoring your children or grandchildren, wherever you may be in life. You want to keep a balance in your life. And then there's one other aspect. I call it ritual versus rut. In other words, we have our habits, we have the things that we do. And yes, they can be our rituals that enrich our life, or they can be a rut, meaning we're not open to changing up things, to doing things a little different. I always like to suggest that people travel somewhere in another culture, or if you're not a big traveler, then just go to another state, go to another city, go to another neighborhood. Do something different. Break your patterns a bit, because you don't want to just be living by habit. You want to be totally aware and living very present as you go through your daily life, no matter what your stage is, whether you're working, raising a family, retired, whatever it is. Secret number 5 was simplify your life. So secret number 6, I say use tools at your disposal. And what I mean by that is, for instance, a tool to keeping very positive and in a mindset of attracting from the universe what you want in your life is gratitude. Giving gratitude is one of the most powerful keys. And just joy and having fun, or meditation, or music, mantra, sound, inner child work. I mean, there is so many techniques and tools that we can use to, once again, improve ourselves, grow spiritually, grow in many, many ways. And the violet flame, which is a spiritual energy that you can invoke and meditate upon to literally transmute energy, transmute painful experiences. So these are exciting things. Now, secret number 7 is very simple but profound, and that is be the change. Mahatma Gandhi's powerful statement, be the change you want to see in the world. And this is so important because just make a conscious choice to become the way you want others to be. So if you want acceptance, you want someone to accept you, maybe there's someone in your life or a difficult situation, then you need to accept. From a position of acceptance, then there's no tug of war. You can take intelligent, right action to change a specific situation. So being the change means rather than demanding the world or people around you be a certain way, you be that way. And when you become that way, things around you change. You can only change yourself, basically. There's just no other solution there. But changing yourself, we're all connected. Everything can change. So I like to say, try a simple formula. Is there a difficult person or situation in your life? Step one, just refrain from judging them, even in your thoughts and feelings, and accept what is. Just accept them as they are. My husband and I have been married for 43 years. And one day, a few years ago, we were coming out of a restaurant, getting into the car, and a young couple was parked right next to us, and they were getting in their car. And the young man says, we just got married. Do you have any suggestions, advice? And I said, yes, accept each other just as you are. Now, that does not mean you're not improving and you work to, make your relationship the very best because, in marriage, you work through things. It's one of the biggest initiations is to be married to somebody because it brings up, all the things in you. So yes, you have to, it's not that you're going to say, oh, I'm an abuser and that's just the way I am. No, what this means is when we're in love, we don't see all the little faults or the everyday things. But when you move in with somebody and you start living together, little things come up and sometimes big things. So you have to accept the person the way they are. And otherwise, it just doesn't work. You struggle. So you can enter then into your, what I call heart space, and extend love and understanding of their perspective, even if you don't agree. And then look at the other person from their perspective. And that doesn't mean you have to change your perspective, but it means you can have meaningful dialogue. You can work through things. And the key, of course, again, is there's only one person you can change, and that's you. So if you can't change your circumstances around you, you can change your attitude toward it. It's like people say, well, I hate my job. I'm trapped into it. I want to get out of it. I don't know how, I can't afford to. And I have this interesting concept. Some people think it's pretty radical, but if you're not doing what you love in your job, there is an option, and that is to love what you're doing. Love it. Give yourself to it. And you will see how life will open doors for you and how things will change. But when you're in that tug of war, again, be the change. When you're tug of war with something you don't want, that's where your energy's going, to what you don't want. So those are the 7 secrets for ageless living. Now, it could seem overwhelming, all of these different things. So the way I usually suggest people get started is, number one, they understand themselves more. And that's, that secret number 2, basically, where you really take the time, if you've never connected with your higher spiritual self, and learn different processes, whether it's meditation. I do lead people in meditations where they go within. We know, that kingdom is within, and we want to go in there to connect with their higher source, because the higher source was going to give us guidance. It's going to give us information, and we can learn to communicate consciously with our higher self and have a higher perspective. So that, to me, is number 1. And then you view the other secrets in a different perspective just by doing that alone. And then someone would want to just choose, what do they want to do next now? I mean, obviously these things are part of just living, all the time. I mean, they all intermesh together. But maybe somebody wants to say, I feel like I need to clean out my closets, get this junk out of here. And that's where you should go with it. Or, you know what, I need to start eating better. I need to lose some weight. I need to exercise, whatever. Or I'm just dying to learn something. I have this thing a hobby I've always wanted to do, or whatever, or I want to travel. Once you get into that attunement with your higher self, and you're really flowing with your higher self, the angels, everything, in the universe, then you're going to be led. And what is your next cycle? What is your next thrust? What are you doing personally? What are you doing business-wise or your employment? Whatever your life is. And so that's how I recommend, and that's how I work people through the process. I hope this has been helpful for you and you can get started. And if you want a boost to help walk you through some of these processes, I do have a course, Find Your Purpose and Fulfill Your Destiny, 5 Secrets for Revealing Your Unique Reason for Being. And this is a complete course, 22 video lessons that includes understanding universal laws, meditation, how to connect to your higher self, and specific exercises to reveal your life purpose. So you can access that at my website, nancyshowalter.com, or you can go directly to quantumlifeacademy.com, and you can see that course. So I wish you a great week, and I will see you next week. And remember, the power in you is greater than any power outside of you. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for being with me today, and if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, download, and comment. I'd love to hear from you, and your support is much appreciated. And don't forget, go to nancyshowalter.com to get your free electronic copy of my book, It's Okay to Be Rich, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Increased Wealth and Personal Mastery, endorsed by T. Harv Eker. And my free mini course, How to Speak Your Success, the shocking truth of how your words impact achieving your goals. I'll see you next week.